Hello, everyone. Welcome to 10 Minutes Astrology podcast, and the most easy way to learn astrology. Hi, I'm Rod Chang.
Hi, I'm Alejo Lopez.
Well, today we are going to start with a interesting star sign,
Yes, Sagittarius.
Sagittarius. Who doesn't love them?
Exactly. You don't love them. You said it the other day.
It was a joke. It was a joke. I like them. I adore them. But I would just say, when you need to take something serious, sometimes you need to have a little bit of work with them.
You love Capricorn so much.
You take that back.
What's your favorite sign? Can I ask this? It's a very, very unprofessional question, but
Myself, Aquarius.
Aquarius is your favorite one. Wow.
Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, I like Aquarius.
Good, nice. Yes.
How about you?
I'm between Virgo and Leo, actually, which are very
Oh,
different, but they are
okay.
my favorite. Yes.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I prefer Aquarius. Yeah. You can see that Narcissus type comes out. We only love
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. Anyway,
And
I
that's
think,
it.
it changes with time. Like I think it depends a lot in which phase of your life
Yeah.
you're in. You feel like, oh, this sign
Yeah.
is so beautiful. That's exactly what I'm looking for. And then
Yeah.
maybe you find that experience, and then you need something else. So you
Mhm.
go like, actually, this sign is so much more beautiful because I think it depends on what you're looking for. Yes.
Yes, yes. I think usually when I'm in the traveling mode, yes, I like Sagittarius because that's the
Yeah.
sign about the traveling, about the fun, about the enjoy. So let's go through into the dive into the mythology then. What's the
Good.
story you're going to talk about the Sagittarius?
Okay, exactly like you said. So myths about Sagittarius will be myths about traveling, about journeys. People who
Ah,
go,
okay.
all of these road movies that we watch, they are about
Yes,
Sagittarius, right? The idea is the experience
yes.
itself, not so much the destination.
Hmm.
So
Yes.
the myth that I thought for today is the myth of Odysseus. So maybe
Hmm.
you probably heard of him. Basically, there's this idea that there was
Hmm.
the war of the Troy War,
Yeah.
and he was the one who came up with the idea of designing the Troy horse. So they
Yes.
won the war. And
Mm.
when they won, they had to sail back to their hometowns, right? But
Hmm.
Odysseus' ship kind of sailed away because there was a storm and everything, and they ended up
Hmm.
in a coast where he met Cyclops, which is a huge
Hmm.
monster with one
Yeah.
eye, and he
Hmm.
he killed him.
Mm.
Did he kill him or did he wound him only? No, I'm not
I
sure.
wonder he make him blind or
He
something. I
made him
think
blind. He
so.
didn't kill
Some
him.
people,
Yeah.
maybe some version, they kill him.
No, I don't think he killed him. I think he made him blind.
Yeah.
He was the sign
Yes.
of Poseidon, who is the god of the sea. So the god of the sea got very angry and he cursed him not to be able to go back to Ithaca, his
Mm.
home. So he did this
Mm.
huge journey in order to go back until he could
Hmm.
actually reach back to his home.
Mm. Yeah.
So there's a yes, sorry.
Yeah. So no, no, no.
Okay, okay. There's a poem by Cavafis, which is a Greek poet, that I would like to read
Okay.
because I think it's all about Sagittarius.
Please, that would be lovely.
And the poem says, as you set out for Ithaca, hope the voyage is a long one, full of adventure, full of discovery. Lestriogonians, or some kind of people somewhere, I don't know how to pronounce this,
Hmm.
and Cyclops, angry Poseidon, don't be afraid of them. You will never find things like that on your way as long as you keep your thoughts raised high, as long as a rare excitement stirs your spirit and your body. Lestrigonians and Cyclops, wild Poseidon, you won't encounter them unless you bring them along inside your soul, unless your soul sets them up in front of you. May there be many a summer morning when, with what pleasure, what joy, you come into harbors seen for the first time. May you stop at Phoenician trading stations to buy fine things, mother of pearl and coral, amber and ebony, the sensual perfume of every kind, as many sensual perfumes as you can. And may you visit many Egyptian cities to gather stores of knowledge from their scholars. Keep Ithaca is where Odysseus is
Hmm.
sailing back to. Keep
Hmm.
Ithaca always in your mind. Arriving there is what you're destined for, but do not hurry the journey at all. Better if it lasts for years. So you are old by the time you reach the island, wealthy with all you have gained on the way, not expecting Ithaca to make you rich. Ithaca gave you the marvelous journey. Without her, you would not have set out. She has nothing left to give you now, and if you find her poor, Ithaca won't have fooled you. Wise as you will have become, so full of experience, you will have understood by then what these Ithacas mean. So this is by Cavafy. It's a Greek author.
Wow. My imagination while you read the poetry, my imagination really traveling with it to the spice place and to the lost treasure and to the Egypt. I just like this is really a Sagittarius poetry.
I think so, yes. It's about the
It's not
journey.
a
That's the idea of
yeah
Sagittarius.
journey and about wisdom, about grow up. This is all the theme about the Sagittarius because that's also related to the how about we just bring in the fire sign and the mutable sign in this stage because I think our audience already familiar with this. So we, apart from the archetype, the Alejo talking about Odysseus and this idea about the traveling, about growing up, about longing for something, but the fire side and the mutable side is another part of the story, so we can mix them up together to talk about Sagittarius theme. The first is about the fire side, so which is about passion, which is about action, about acting, about moving, and about the moveful words. But another is a mutable sign. So mutable sign is not a fixed sign. It's not a cardinal sign. It will not initiate the event, but it's not fixed sign. Don't stay in the same place. But they come in backward, forward. They go and come and go. So they are not staying in one place, but they could connect to many places. They could connect to
Yes.
many places. So in this way, the mutable fire sign is kind of a adapt life with the action.
Yes, I agree. And I think
Mm,
the idea of vision in fire,
mm,
the idea of what's my vision of life, what's the meaning of life, because it's mutable, it's not fixed.
yes.
So I need to explore and I need to see different things
Mm-hmm,
in order
mm-hmm,
to find that. So when we're talking about journeys, it's not just journeys like traveling to Egypt, like,
mm-hmm.
but also like traveling with your mind, traveling with your thoughts, right? This idea
Ah,
of
yes.
expanding yourself through
Mm.
experiences.
It's very interesting because we need to mention the Sagittarius traditional ruler is Jupiter. And it is very interesting because Jupiter is also about traveling, about growth, about expansion, and about the meaning, life meaning. In the astrology, if we ask anyone about, if we try to find out the theme of life meaning, we will go to the Jupiter, we will go to Sagittarius, or we will go to the ninth house about the life meaning theme, and which is very interesting because I like a coincidence because when we discuss what story we should use, and you mentioned about
Mm.
Odysseus, and I was just surprised because interestingly, I was looking this story from another side of Jupiter, another side of same mythology, which is also ruled by Jupiter, Pisces. When I tell my students story about Pisces, I use exactly the same story. But funny way is I because you when you mentioned about the Sagittarius, we are focused on positive side or masculine side, the
Right.
acting side of Jupiter and Odysseus, the adventure and the fighting and the wisdom. He used the wisdom to win the war. But I was looking for another side. It's more about their feeling about because the curse. Because usually I would say, well, the curse was about like, well, before everyone in that ship die, he cannot reach the land. He cannot
Mm.
reach the Ikata. Then that was the curse. I was thinking, I think maybe I was touched by that curse. I was so
Come on.
scared. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just like, ouch. Then I realized how this story related to the Pisces story. I think we will talk about that when we go to the Pisces. But it's
Yeah,
about emotion, it's about feeling. But I think what's so interesting, we see the same story, but we look in a different side of Jupiter.
yeah.
So that's I'll have to bring back and not sidetrack too much. Sorry about that. We have to bring back to the Sagittarius. So we talk about the fire sign, we talk about the mutable sign, we talk about the ruler by Jupiter, and we also talk about the mythology about the adventure and the traveling. So how about we apply it to the planet so our audience will be much easier to know how to do it.
Okay, good. So let's do, what do you want to do?
How about Mercury
Okay,
or
Mercury.
Mars? Maybe. How about we compare them?
Okay, Mercury and
Mercury in
Mars.
Sag
Okay,
and Mars in Sagittarius. Sorry, it's just Sagittarius way come out like Sagittarius. Boom, boom. How about this and that? Something change.
perfect, perfect. Okay, so Mercury inside. So I'll do Mercury, you'll do Mars. Okay, is that okay?
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool.
So Mercury in Sagittarius. We said Mercury is how we think, what we think about, what we like to talk about,
Mm,
how we talk, how we speak, and maybe
mhm,
also our relationships to our siblings. Maybe how we trade when we have to negotiate, right?
yes.
So Mercury in Sagittarius, we said this idea of the journey, right? And traveling. So
Mm,
Mercury in Sagittarius might be interested in speaking or learning about things that are meaningful, about things that bring meaning to
mhm,
life. Maybe they
mhm,
may speak broadly. They may want to their voice to be heard,
mm.
to share their voice, to share their
Yes.
vision, to share their ideas, and they will probably speak from a meaningful way, which means they will speak from their heart. They will say things that for
Mm,
them are important, that for them are meaningful. There's this idea of this connection with traveling. It could be somebody who likes or knows or has an easiness to learn languages, this idea of being expanding, the mind is expanded so they can reach and
mhm,
learn different things from different languages. Maybe it's a philosopher, somebody who wants to spread, the what life is about. It could also be
mm,
because Sagittarius, we didn't mention this so much, has a light-hearted side with this idea that
mm.
it's suitable fire. So even though it's looking for the meaning of life, I think like back down deep in the bottom, there's this idea that nothing is very important because the meaning will change, right? Because it's mutable.
Yes.
So there's
Yes.
this idea of fun in Sagittarius also, this
Mhm,
idea of let's just experience life and enjoy it. So it could be also
mm,
somebody who makes a lot of jokes, somebody who has fun when they speak about something, somebody who doesn't take things too seriously.
mhm.
Um, yeah, that's a lot of few ideas. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a very, very cool. And I think I want to compare Mars in Sagittarius in the same way, because you
Okay.
mentioned about the idea, you mentioned about the philosophy, you mentioned about their mind and the big picture about the vision, which for when we put in Mars in the Sagittarius is the exactly same thing, exactly same thing. But because Mars is acting, it's
Yes.
about protecting, about defending, or about attacking. So during the fight, or you want to carry out some mission, this is how Mars is going to act. If you have Mars in Sagittarius, they are fighting for idea. They are kind of acting like a idealistic. What is important for this world? What is correct thing for this world? What I can do the better things for this world? I just imagine like when a couple weeks ago I watching a TV series and acting a lady who running the business, but in a Mars in Sagittarius way. I want to bring the peace of the world. I want every female about this and that, and I bring the benefit to the older female. And she was doing make some stupid decision to allow to give everyone retreat her word a huge important gift. 10,000 people retreat her words. And then her business partner just like, because you think about it, when you run the business, you're going to you're going to give 10,000 people the gift. How are you going to run your
Exactly.
business?
Yeah.
But the Mars in Sagittarius, I don't care. This is the best thing for this world. I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Forget about money.
Exactly.
Forget about benefit. Forget about it. But this is idea. This is a beautiful word. This is a beautiful gesture. This is a great action. This is Mars in Sagittarius. But I like the sign you mentioned because usually because my Mars in Capricorn don't like that sign, but which is true. It's a funny sign. It's a light-hearted sign, which is um in Sagittarius, their action could be try to, when you even in a fight or even in a dangerous mission, they carry out something important, they are doing something important, they still try to show their sense of humor.
Yes,
They're
exactly.
trying to
Yes.
solve the situation. And somehow some people couldn't take it easily. I am one of them, but that's because I have Mars in Capricorn. I didn't say I didn't say I don't like them. I would just try to understand because I think that is good for them because that's how the Mars in Sagittarius work. Because you know nothing is important. It's a mutable sign. In the end of the day, we all die. If you succeed, you die. If you fail, you die. So what's the problem?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I think it's a very interesting. Thank you very much you to bring that Mercury Sagittarius, so I can apply it into the Mars Sagittarius. It's quite interesting, and I think usually they are kind of they protect what they believe. That there's a fighter
Yeah.
for the belief, for the
For
religions.
ideas.
They
Yes.
are fighting for idea. They fighting for what they believe. They're fighting for what they think, and they're fighting for the beautiful, perfect what they want. And that is, a little bit like a jihad, the sacred
Yeah.
word or
And
something.
I mean, yeah, but that's also why it's sometimes Sagittarius is a complex sign. I think it's more complex than what people see because you have the
Mm,
light-hearted and the humorous, with sometimes
yes,
what people see as dogmatic, which means that this is
true.
what you're saying. They fight for what they believe. So, and they
Hmm.
believe that, so it might look dogmatic. Now, it's not really dogmatic because this probably will change. I mean, they are aware that this might change, but they need to
Mm,
hold on to what they trust. They need to hold on to what they believe.
yeah, was such a beautiful, beautiful combination. So now we know, although two planets in Sagittarius, but they act in different way and a different area in our life. Mercury is about thinking and the relationship with the neighborhood or sibling, and the Mars is about how you protect yourself, how you carry out your mission, and how you attack. And all these in the same principle that they're doing the different things. But today we bring some interesting exercise. Alejo, what exercise our audience should practice today?
So let's think with another planet. Let's go to Venus now, which is planet of
Okay.
love, relationships, what
Yeah.
you find worth and valuable,
Mm-hmm.
and try to
Yeah.
think of what's the difference with Venus in Sagittarius and Venus in Taurus, for instance, which are very
That
different
is that is
kinds.
totally different. Yes.
I mean, Sagittarius is a mutable sign, it's a fire sign, and
Yeah.
now since
Yeah.
last session we're adding it's a negative sign, and
Yes.
it's a positive sign, sorry, Sagittarius,
Yeah.
and
Positive.
Taurus is a fixed sign, it's earth sign, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a negative sign. So they have nothing in
Negative.
common, basically.
Yeah, yeah. So interesting. You will find out, try to put the word down and try to put it together. What's their value, what they like, what they value about, and what's their relationship or their social life. It's so many things, and what can bring them pleasure and peace. Okay, that is a very. I already do half part of your homework.
Yes.
Well, thank you for listening and watch 10 minutes astrology this week. We learned the happy side, Sagittarius. And we really hope that you guys enjoy this episode. Please like and subscribe. If you have a feedback or question, send us a message at AOAUK on the Telegram or send us email at AOA.inquiry@gmail.com. Please join our Facebook group at the 10 Minutes Astrology. And then you also can find me on the Instagram at AOAUKROD. Alejo also have his Instagram account is
Liminal Cosmos.
Liminal Cosmos. Okay, so the next week we will call it for next week. We have a last three star sign. I can't wait because we've been doing 12 week about the star sign.
Yes.
I just can't wait to see the end, so we can put everything together, to be honest. So next week our star sign is
Capricorn, your favorite one.
is that my favorite one? I'm still
Mm.
wondering. Maybe, maybe not. But yes, I do value it. I do value the coffee, but I couldn't living every day like that neither because I'm Aquarius.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So See you next week. Until then, stay in tune. Bye bye.
See you, everyone. Bye bye.